Hello, listeners. Over the weekend, I had the privilege of joining BBC Radio 2 on their segment Midnight Masterminds, a fun little 10-minute segment where a guest comes on to try and stump the host on a variety of topics, and my topic was the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, based on our Season 2 finale, one that is personal to me, and I hope you enjoy the segment. Here we go.
Now, Midnight Mastermind.
So, having filled in for Borge all of last week, it meant lots of extra goes at Midnight Mastermind. There were a couple of full houses, there was one half a point. So I literally scaled the full parameter of Midnight Mastermind scores on
Johnny Clegg,
the Piccadilly line,
breaking, otherwise known as breakdancing,
the Manic Street Preachers.
So that's what I did last week. Should we see what we're facing for Monday the 26th? Good morning, Midnight Mastermind contestant. Your name, please, and whereabouts in the world are you?
My name is Steve Epley, and I'm here in Georgia, United States.
Oh, nice. How's Georgia at the moment? Is it humid?
It is humid, it is hot, and every day.
Yeah, every day. And now, I want to say to you listening that because we're kind of improving our tech here now in the UK, I can see Steve, and you look really chilled where you are, so I presume you're in a nice air-conditioned kind of office there.
I am. This is where I record my podcast, Music Rewind, so this is my happy place.
See, I knew you must have done something with audio because your voice is incredible. So what's the subject that you're challenging me on?
I am challenging you on the Preservation Hall Jazz Band.
The Preservation Hall Jazz Band, right? That's what I'm putting into my search engine. Preservation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, that should bring up everything you need.
Right. Preservation Hall Jazz Band. Okay. What's your podcast on then?
My podcast is about music, obviously, called Music Rewind.
Yeah.
But what we do is it's a show where we invite guests on to talk about a music album that is special to them, an album that has stuck with them since they first heard it. And our conversations have been fascinating, ranging from, they heard it when they were 9 and they led them to be a blues guitarist, or it was the story of his divorce and led him go, his own personal therapy.
Sure.
The stories are fascinating, and they kind of go whichever way the guest takes them.
Would you? There's no pressure. You can say no, right? But would you like to become a Radio 2 DJ right now and introduce Alison Moyet's "All Cried Out," which is my revision song? Do you fancy that?
Sure, I could. What was it called again?
It's "All Cried Out," as in, and it's Alison Moyet.
All right. Next up is "All Cried Out" by Alison Moyet
on BBC Radio 2. I think I'm going to be all cried out by the time we've done this Midnight Mastermind. Just having a look at the revision there, I think it's quite a tough subject, this. So when you first... This is Steve, by the way, in Georgia. Nowhere near that midnight train just yet. And Steve's going to challenge me on, Steve...
Preservation Hall Jazz Band.
Now, when you first said it, full disclosure, never heard of them, right? And then did a bit of digging. And the fact that I've been to New Orleans and I've been to the French Quarter, you think that somehow I'd have encountered them, right?
I'm kind of sad that you didn't.
Yeah.
You missed out.
Yeah. Why have you chosen... Because obviously your podcast covers all sorts of music. Why have you chosen this particular band?
This is a personal band to me. And they have several albums that are personal to me that I discovered when I was leading up to dating and then marrying my wife.
Oh, wow.
And we got married in New Orleans. We had the second line and everything. My beautiful wife, Michelle, probably listening now. And we love this album together. I brought this album, let me take a step back. I brought a Preservation Hall Jazz Band album to my own show to talk about because it was personal to me.
Sure. And did you do a first dance to one of their numbers?
No, we did not. We went with the Louis Armstrong classic, but
nice.
But there were
Did you go with "We Have All the Time in the World"?
No, we went with La Vie en Rose.
Oh, nice. Oh, lovely. Beautiful. And, relates to the French Quarter as well. Excellent. All right. Well, and it was Michelle, did you say?
It is.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle. It sounds like you've got a fine man in Steve here. I'm just saying that to butter you up a bit because I'm going to need your help probably, okay?
Midnight Mastermind.
Midnight Mastermind on the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. Question number 1, Steve.
The Preservation Hall Jazz Band plays nightly at the Preservation Hall in New Orleans. Question is, on what street in New Orleans can you find Preservation Hall?
It didn't say the street. It didn't say the street. It just said.
Well, I do
French
have.
Quarter.
Well, I have multiple choice here. just
Okay,
in
go on.
case
That
you
would be
stumped
you.
here.
So that would be really amazing.
All right. A. Canal Street. B. Bourbon Street. C. St. Peter's Street. Or D. Frenchman Street.
My instinct wants to go with Bourbon Street, mainly because of that song by Sting. So I'm going to go Bourbon Street.
That is wrong.
Go on then.
The answer is St. Peter's Street.
Okay. Poor start. Question number 2.
Who sang lead with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band in a guest spot in the 1965 movie The Cincinnati Kid?
I mean, that didn't come up in the revision. I'm trying to offer you some kind of educated guess. Was it someone who was known as a singer, or was it an actor moonlighting?
It is someone who is well known with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band.
Oh,
It wasn't
okay.
It wasn't some oddball.
Oh, okay.
She is well known with the band.
Okay. Now, I saw one name of a well-known she, but they said in the revision she was a pianist. I don't know if she did vocals. And that was Sweet Emma Barrett, but that's not my answer. Let me offer you another one. What year was it? 65?
It was.
I'm going to say Nina Simone.
Incorrect.
Wow, at least it was a guess. Go on, who was it?
Sweet Emma Barrett.
You're joking, it was the one I said. Do you know why I didn't offer you that as my answer? Because it said in the revision, it said she was a pianist, so I didn't know she was a vocalist as well.
Yep, she's both. There's several albums with her singing lead that you can find.
I can't believe
anywhere.
I said it and ruled it out. Taught myself out of a point there. Okay, 0 from 2. Question number 3.
All right. Which of the following artists did not sing with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band on the 2010 album Preservation, an album to benefit Preservation Hall and the Preservation Hall Music Outreach Program? Personal favorite album to me. So, which of these 4 guys did not sing on the album?
Okay.
A. Jason Isbell. B. Dave Grohl. C. Dr. John. D. Louis Armstrong. 2010 album.
I know. Right, well, I'll tell you what my brain's doing. My brain's going, as he put that in and mentioned 2010, because it will obviously be Louis Armstrong because he wasn't still around then, or has he thrown that in to confuse me, and actually is it someone that you think would be on the record that wasn't like Dr. John? Oh, I don't know which way to go. I've already gone the wrong way once tonight. I'll say Dr. John.
Incorrect.
Was it Louis Armstrong?
No, it's Dave Grohl.
Oh, really? I'd have had money on Dave Grohl, but he collaborates with anyone.
Well, Dave Grohl did collaborate with Preservation Hall on their Sonic Highways album a few years later.
But not the 2010 one.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I feel like I've done badly, but you've been amazing. And we've learnt about the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. I presume, Steve, still gigging, right? They're still playing?
They play nightly in New Orleans, and their traveling band is also a recording band. They put out the albums, and they're all fantastic. I encourage everyone to seek them out and find them.
How often do you get back? Are you able to go and see them much?
No, not with family and work and everything. So this was during my pre-kid days. We'll get back there sometime.
Good for you, mate. Right, tell everybody the name of your sensational podcast.
It is the Music Rewind Podcast, and you can find it in all the usual platforms or musicrewindpodcast.com.
And just before we go, as I mentioned to you before, I can actually see Steve in vision, and Steve has got a ton of awards behind him. Very nicely done.
They're all fake.
Yeah, got them all off eBay for a couple of quid. Excellent. Steve, been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
A podcast from the Sidereal Media Group. Back to you, anchors.